I'm Tim.
I'm Anna, and this is Holden, and we're Geeked Up Gaming.
We're going to bring you a new review of Ascension, Darkness Unleashed. It's the brand new expansion off of Rise of Vigil, and by Justin Gary and Stoneblade Entertainment. Alright, so let's head on over to components. So this is the expansion for Rise of Vigil. This board does not come with a box. It's a separate component from the Rise of Vigil box. But this artwork, I think, is fantastic. Eric Saby has done fantastic on this. He's done awesome on all the cards. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we got in here. We've got the little honor tokens. It comes with every box, and this is a standalone, as all of them are. And then, you know, you got your heavy infantry, and then you have your mystics. And then it comes with 2 cultists. Not sure why. And then you have your main deck. And then you have your 2 starter hands. And then they've come out with new level up cards. And we'll get into those later. So, not a whole lot to show you inside the box. It's about 100 cards or more. So we'll go ahead and ship on over to setups.
This is the basic setup for Ascension. We used our Rise of Vigil board just to show how we like to play with it, so we'll just set it up here. You have your mystics and your heavy infantry that you set up right here on the right side, and those are available to you throughout the game to purchase, and then until they run out. And you also keep the cultist over here, and there's little spots to tell you, you know, where they go on the board. And then here's your honor pool. These big ones are worth 5, and the little white ones are worth, or clear I suppose, are worth 1 honor point or victory point. And then over here you have the center row deck, and you have your center row here with 6 cards, and then the void. So when you set up, you draw. Now, interesting, this would come out, this is the Dark Energy Shard. When this comes out, each player may banish a card from their hand, from their discard pile, excuse me. And that gets put here. Well, and anytime this gets pulled, another card needs to go on top of it. If there's more energy shards, those get put later. But you fill the center row with cards. And there's another Dark Energy Shard, so everyone would be able to banish a card from their discard pile. And when the cards in the center row are purchased, oh, there's another one. And my last game that I played didn't have any in the beginning, so kind of funny that was set up like that. And then each player gets a hand of 8 apprentice, 2 militia, and then 1 energy shard. And their hand is made up of 11 cards. They're shuffled together, and then a hand of 5 is drawn. And then the cards all have a value. There, you can spend the runes on the card to purchase cards. So if I were to shuffle my hand and draw 5, I end up this time with, well, 5 apprentice. So with the 5 apprentice, I look out at the board, and the top right of the card has the cost of the cards. This is the triangle shows you runes, and the red circles on the monsters show you how much, I guess, militia or heavy infantry for it takes to defeat them. So power, or whatever you'd want to call it. And so with 5 runes that I have here, because each apprentice is worth 1, I look through and I would see that this card right here has the energy shard, which is going to be good because the energy shards, what those are good for is each time you get them, you get to draw a card, And then you also get to use the energy that it's used for to energize other cards. Like, see this card here, the Mosaic Horn has, you can energize it with 2 energy, and those energy are a pool throughout your turn. So I'm going to go ahead and take this Anointed Ascara, and her ability is draw a card, and once this turn, when you acquire a hero or a construct from the center row, put it in your hand. So that's kind of a cool card to have. So I'm going to take that and my Dark Energy Shard, and that's going to go in my discard pile, and then it'll be my opponent's turn. Then you fill the card with the center row deck. And anytime you defeat a monster or there's other things that'll make you banish cards, you would put those in the void. And there are certain cards that let you pull out of the void at certain times. And then I think that's it. We'll show you maybe a little run through of Tim and I playing here.
Yeah, and also there are some monsters that may allow you to put them in your hand. There's an evolution card in here that we'll probably, hopefully we'll run into one of those during our gameplay, and we'll be able to show you how it works. If not, we'll just pull it out and show you how it works. Alright, we'll head on over to our gameplay.
Alright, here's our setup for Ascension Darkness Unleashed. We're going to start a gameplay with Tim and I to show you kind of how these new mechanics work, and also show you how the gameplay works for the original. And there's other mechanics in the other games that we won't really get into with this one, but we're going to start. And I've got my deck here shuffled with my 11 cards, and that 11th one's the Energy Shard. My hand, I got 5 Apprentice, so I think I'm going to purchase this hero right here for 5, and we'll refill the center row, and it'll be Tim's turn as I redraw it.
Okay, and I got 4 Apprentices and 1 Militia, and I already know I can't get anything with 1 Militia, so I'm just going to discard that card. So now I have 4 Apprentice left. I'm going to go ahead and buy this Raven Siren.
Of course he is.
And that's got the value of 3 runes, and then every time I play it, I gain 1 rune, and then if I energize it, I can pay 1 less for each energy I have gained on the turn for a hero.
And then now I've got an Energy Shard, so I get to put that out in front of me, and I redraw a card, and then this is used as 1 energy, but I really can't use that energy to start off with. Gives me 2 Militia to attack the Cultist with to get 1. And I have 3 Apprentice here, and I will go ahead and purchase this one right here. And look at that, I'm sure he's going to pick that one up too.
Okay, so I have 1 Militia, 3 Apprentice, 1 Energy Shard. Now this Energy Shard, I can play it, and I'll have this 1 energy to energize any card that has got 1 energy, but I don't have anything like that, so the only thing I'm going to do is draw a card, but you do get to do both of these if the card applies. So I'll go ahead and do that, draw another card, so it gives me 4 Apprentice. Now the card I'm going to buy is only cost me 3, but there's nothing out there for 1, so this whole hand is completely washed because my Militia doesn't help me at all either. So I'll get the Raven Siren again, and then discard all those cards, and then reshuffle my deck, and then there's an Energy Shard, so then we'll just flip another card and put it on top of that Energy Shard.
We fight over Lifebound heroes. They tend to be good cards that we enjoy. I got an Energy Shard here, and that's 1, and I redraw a card. I've got my Nightmare Sentinel, which is 2 attack, and then a Void Hero, which is 3 attack and 3 energy, so I have 4 energy, 2 attack. So, I'm sorry, 5. So I can get this one right here. This says gain 2, so I automatically get 2. And then if I energize it, which I do have the energy to do so, I gain another 2. So that gives me 5. We like to trade up for those. This goes to the void. We refill the spot. And I still have 2 attack left, so I'm gonna acquire him or defeat him. And I may. Oh, I also next time I defeat a monster in the center row, this turn you may banish a card in your hand to the discard pile. So I'm gonna banish an apprentice in my hand.
And basically, why anybody would want to do this is if you get rid of this, you get rid of a 0-point card which has no honor at the bottom, which on other cards has an honor in the bottom. And those are the cards you want to get a hold of. Like this does the same thing as an apprentice, but I actually get 1 honor point down there. So every time I play her, I gain the 1 here, and at the end of the game, I'll have the 1 power here, and then this one also pops up for that 1 every turn.
I have 2 apprentice left, so I'm gonna get a heavy infantry, and it'll be Tim's turn while I redraw up.
Okay, so I have the 2 Raven Sirens and 3 Apprentice, so I have 5 runes, because each of these is worth 1. Now it would have been nice to have an energy shard, because then I would have paid 1 less, which would be just like making this 2 runes worth. So with 5, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab 1 Mystic and 1 Heavy Infantry, because the Mystic costs only 3, Heavy Infantry costs 2, so let's get both of these, and then all these go to discard. And then I redraw my next 5 cards.
And I have a 2 militia, which I'm going to go ahead and attack the cultist for 1. And then I have 3 left. I'm going to acquire a mystic and then redraw up. And I'm out of cards in my deck, so I shuffle my discard pile.
Okay. And I have 2 apprentice, 1 energy shard, and 2 militia. So I'm going to use my 2 militia on the cultist and take 1 point. And then I'm going to take this energy shard and just draw a card, which chances are going to be an apprentice, seeming that that's what's mostly in the hand. So that gives me 3 apprentice. So then I take these 3 and I'm going to go ahead and buy another mystic. And then those will go to my discard.
And now I redrew up. Now this is gain 2. And next time I defeat a monster in the center row. Looks like there's no monsters I can defeat right now, but I have 4 apprentice. So I'm going to go ahead and play those for this card right here, the construct and the energy shard, and refill. And I have 1 left over and then the 2 attack power, so I'm only going to attack the cultist and I'm going to have to wash that 1 point. Now it's going to be Tim's turn while I draw back up.
Okay, so how the game works is that we just keep going back and forth like this, taking our turns until the honor pool is empty. If this main deck runs out, then we'll just go ahead and shuffle these cards, which are mostly monsters, and then they'll go back and start begin the beginner deck. And then when Mystics and Heavy Infantry run out, they just run out. We'll go ahead and show you how
the energize to transform cards. This card right here, that it says if you energize it, you transform this. So when you take that, that card gets put to. We kind of set them aside instead of putting them to the void, because if they go in the void, you can reshuffle them if you have to shuffle the deck. And which one is that one?
This one's Azerix of the Black Watch. And it'll tell you which one it transforms into. It's Azerix Nick's Chosen.
So you would grab this card and it would have a better ability. You can use that card until, like, if you can't energize it right away, you can use the card because it just it has an ability, but you transform it into something that's better.
Yeah, and the upgrades are always better than the basics, so don't ever hesitate to go ahead and energize that card and switch it over to the upgraded. Now, we're going to go ahead and we'll be right back, and we'll show you how the game ends if the player that started the game is the last person to take their turn. Alright, so we're at the end of the game. I'm pretty sure that Anna's going to be able to take it right here. There's only 2 silver left, which are worth 1 point. So if she scores 2 honor points right now, the game will end on her turn, but then I get 1 more turn to try and boost my points up to try and either beat her or at least catch up to tie. Which I don't know how many points she has versus what I have right now, but at the end it could make a difference.
I'm going to play my 3 attack power for this Vault Lich. And gain 3, you may banish a card in the center row with the treasure under it. So I have this, and I have to add 1. I can't really, it's the end of the game, so I can't really acquire anything else from my hand. So that ends the game. I have what I have here plus 1, and Tim has, he gets to make his last move.
And she will actually, before she ends her turn, we would actually just pull extra honor out and let her get however much honor that is at the end of her turn. So it would be a full turn. So let's add a couple pieces. So how much honor she would have had extra that wasn't in the game. And that's where you got to break into your other game or another copy to have more pieces, so that you can continue. So now I will take my last turn. So I'll draw my cards. So I have my basic energy shard, a militia, a raven siren, anointed Askara, and heavy infantry. So with my anointed Askara, I'll play her, and it lets me draw a card. Now they give me a mystic with 2 rune, and then I have a raven with 1 more rune, so that's 3. And then I'll go ahead and play my energy shard, draw another card. They give me an apprentice. So 1 apprentice, and then 1 rune, 2, so that's 4. Which I don't see anything out there that I want to buy with it being so close to the end of the game. But I could actually buy this, and that's burning 3 for 3. So we'll go ahead and take that, and then I have 3. Let's see what pops up on this. Okay, so I don't have enough power to defeat this devil. So I'll just go ahead and do this Phase Fiend. And
you can get this one, the Vault Lich.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do that because he's 3, and that'll give me 3 honor. So I just take 3 out of the extra that we did, and then banish a card in the center row with treasure under it. Doesn't matter. It's the end of the game. So then I'll put these over here, and then these, since it's the end of my turn and I have no cards more to play, these will actually go back to the bag that I pulled them out of, the extras.
We've kept track with dice before, and you can keep track different ways. Now you go through and you add up all your honor, each one of the red are 5, and then all out of your cards, you go and count the bottom.
The star in the bottom left corner.
You count the points, and then you add them up, and the person with the most points wins the game.
Yep, so that's how it goes. So these are worth 5. These are worth 1. And then the cards are worth however many are down here. Now there is a character. Let me search through these decks to find out where he's at, and I'll explain how he works. And how he works is any of these shards and these shards and your regular shard that you started with in your hand is how much he is worth. So let's just search real quick and see if we can find him. Here he is. Now this guy is pretty good. You pay 7 for him, gain 5 honor every time you play him, and then at the end of the game, he is worth however many energy shards you have in your deck. So he's a pretty good card to have. So I just wanted to point him out, because he can sometimes be a deal breaker. Whoever has him is going to have a lot of power on their side.
Except for Tim, he never wins.
Yeah, even if I have him, I usually lose. So this is Ascension, Darkness Unleashed by Justin Gary, illustrated by Eric Saby.
On to the review.
On to the review and our conclusion. Okay, so here's our conclusion of Ascension, Darkness Unleashed by Justin Gary at Stoneblade Entertainment and illustrated by Eric Saby. My opinion of the game is I really like the game. It was my first deck builder. Now that I've played other deck builders, I have to honestly say that this is not going to be my pick for best deck builder. I have picked a different deck builder for this, and I feel like in this game you're doing a lot of picking up cards and getting honor points, and that's about it. I really like the concept of the game. I just feel like they need to bring some more to it on really feeling like you're competing against the player you're playing against, instead of just collecting honor points and cards and playing against the deck. What do you think, Anna?
I really liked this game when we first got it. We played it over and over and over again. Actually, we played Immortal Heroes?
No, we played Return of the Fallen a lot.
Return of the Fallen, that's what we got. And I really liked that it was a 2-player game, because usually it's just the 2 of us playing a game. But as time went on, we played this one, and I really like the dark shards and the shard aspect of the game, but I totally agree with there are better deck builders out there, because when the game ends, it just ends. And it feels like you were working towards something, and it's just gone when the honor's gone. And I feel like that misses something, but I also enjoy playing it, and I enjoy building my deck. So I don't...
Yeah, because I find myself trying to buy high-powered cards that do a lot, but then the game ends, and I realize that I have all these high-powered cards that are doing me nothing, doing me no good.
If you get them early, it's great, because you get to use them over and over again when your deck is small. And I've learned to keep my deck small with getting rid of cards and banishing them as I go through, but this one is really good with the banishing cards, whereas Rise of Vigil, you don't really have the opportunity to banish cards to get rid of your apprentice and your militia. Apprentices, sorry. But it's a good game. I enjoy playing it. It has great replay value. We do play them often. I think we overplayed them when we first got it, so we haven't been playing it recently. But I would recommend it to people. It's not a bad game. I enjoy it. It's just there's something missing as an end result, and I don't know what that is.
I do believe that if you want to introduce someone to a deck builder, this is definitely an introductory level, along with a couple others. But I like that they did only add one mechanic per expansion instead of trying to cram it all into one, where you can make it all into one if you just, put them all together and play all the decks. But that's a lot of decks, and nobody wants to play that many cards.
I like looking at the cards too. The art in it is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the art. It keeps me involved. Some of the earlier editions of Ascension, not so much, but Return of the Fallen and Darkness Unleashed, and I like the Lifebound heroes. We fight over those cards a lot, but we enjoy playing together and looking at the cards.
Yeah. So this is our conclusion, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And this is Geeked Up Gaming.